Okay, hello everyone. Today we'll be revising distance and speed. Remember these two are very important scalar quantities in physics. So how to calculate distance, distance is also known as total path length, and how to calculate speed. And then you have to submit an online quiz for this. Okay, so first we'll discuss distance. Remember distance is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. The meaning of the statement is that we are only concerned about how much a particle has traveled, whether it has traveled in positive direction, negative direction, or any arbitrary direction. We are not concerned about it. So suppose I ask you a question. A person moved 6 meter in this direction. So what will be the distance? 6 meter. And suppose I ask you a person moved 6 meter in backward direction. What will be the distance? 6 meter. We are only concerned about how much a person has traveled. We are not concerned about direction. Okay, so distance is a scalar quantity and its SI unit is meter. Suppose a particle is here and it traveled from, suppose this point is A, suppose it traveled from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and from D to A again. Suppose a particle travels from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and from D to A. Suppose this is 10 meter and this is 6 meter. So if I ask you what will be the total distance, so you have to just look at how much the person has traveled. So 10 plus 6 plus 10 plus 6, it will come out to be 32 meter. So distance is a scalar quantity and its value is equal to total path traveled by an object. Suppose there is a person here and it travels in a full complete circle of radius r. Suppose a person travels like this and returns to the same point. So what will be the distance? The distance will be 2 pi r. So distance is a scalar quantity whose meaning is total path traveled by an object. Okay, now we'll come to speed. So speed is basically equal to, speed is your distance, that is total path length, divided by time taken. It is also a scalar quantity because speed depends on distance, which is scalar. Speed depends on time, which is a scalar. So speed is a scalar quantity and its SI unit is meter per second. Speed, remember that distance will always be positive. If a person has traveled, distance will be positive. If a person hasn't traveled, distance will be 0. So speed will be greater than or equal to 0. You have to remember this concept. The value of speed will be greater than or equal to 0. It cannot be negative. Suppose in this question, suppose I ask you what will be the speed from A to B, from B to D, and from A to D. Suppose from A to B, the time taken is 10 second and distance is 100 meter. From B to C, time taken is 10 second, distance is 20 meter. And from C to D, again, time taken is 10 second, distance is 100 meter. So a person travels like this. Suppose first he comes from A to B, then from B to C, and from C to D. So we have to calculate speed from A to B. From A to B, the person has traveled 100 meter in 10 seconds. So speed will be 10 meter per second. From B to D, from B to D, the person first will come from B to C and from C to D. So 20 plus 100 will be 120. And from B to D, total time taken will be 10 plus 10, 20. So 6 meter per second. And from A to D, in last round, we have to find speed from A to D. So from A, the person will go to B. From B, the person will go to C. From C, the person will go to D. So total distance will be 100 plus 100 plus 20, 220 divided by time taken, that is 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30. So 22 by 3 meter per second. This is how you calculate speed. Let's take one more example. Suppose we have to go from A to D. So first we'll go to from A to B. Time taken will be T1 and distance is D. From B to C, time taken is T2 and distance will be C. It is half of 2 pi r, that is pi r, because we have half circle. And from C to D, suppose time taken is T3 and distance is D. So speed is total path length divided by total time. So total path is D plus pi r plus D. Total time is T1 plus T2 plus T3. So this is how we have to calculate speed when a person travels from a certain point to another certain point. Okay, now coming to questions related to mathematics. Suppose we are given that position of a particle x is t cube. So a person's position depends on his time. Find average speed between time equal to 1 second and time equal to 3 seconds. In questions like this, what you do is you have to check at time equal to 1, the position of particle will be 1 because x will be equal to 1 cube and 1. And at time equal to 3, position of particle will be 3 cube, that is 27. So the particle moves from x equal to 1 to x equal to 27. So total distance moved will be 27 minus 1, 26, and time taken will be 3 minus 1, 2 seconds. So answer will be 13 meter per second. So when distance is continuously increasing, when the position is continuously increasing, you can put this formula that speed equal to x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Okay, now we'll come to another question. Now this question covers a lot more basics like average speed is equal to total displacement divided by total time. So particle covers 1/3 of its distance with speed a. So for the first part, we are given that the distance, 1/3 of distance, that is d by 3, it is covered with a speed a, and the remaining, so remaining will be 2d by 3 with speed b. So what will be the average speed for full path? So average speed is total distance divided by time taken. So what will be the total distance? See, d by 3 plus 2d by 3. So total distance will be d, and total time, suppose from this point to this point, time taken is t1. So speed is distance by time. Time is distance divided by speed. So d by 3 divided by a. And in second part, again, speed is distance by time. Time will be distance divided by speed. So distance will be 2d by 3, speed will be b. So we have total time, that is t1 plus t2. So speed will be total distance divided by total time. Total distance is d, total time is t1 will be d by 3a, t2 will be 2d by 3b. So if we equate both, then d and d and d will cancel out. So what will be remaining with? Will be remaining 3ab upon b plus 2a. Always remember, in physics, the answer should only contain parameters which are given in the question. The answer should not contain any other parameter that you have assumed. Because in this question, I have assumed distance to be d. I have assumed that total distance is d, but d is no way figuring out in the last answer of the question. So in physics, you have to remember this thing. So today we have studied displacement and speed. Both has distance and speed. Both are scalar quantities, and how to deal with that we have already covered it. Now what you have to do is you have to submit an online quiz depending on this lecture on speed and distance.